Hey there, graphic designers. Today we're going to take a look at playing with text in Illustrator. Now, with Illustrator, we got two main ways of taking and creating text. My first way is if I grab that type tool and I come over and I just click, we get something called point text. What that allows me to do is take and type, and when I'm done typing, I can use my selection tool to physically resize and even rotate that word. The other way we have of making text is by clicking and dragging. Now, when I click and drag, we get something called paragraph text. Okay, when I click and drag, it creates a bounding box for me, and all that text stays within that bounding box. If I take and I try and make that larger, all that I'm going to do is physically make that bounding box larger. Same if I go to rotate it. So instead of editing the actual text, we're just editing the bounding box. If I wanted to change the size of this text, I'd have to actually come in here and highlight it, go to character, and then physically change the font size. Now, a couple of other options that we have is creating text on a shape or creating text on a path. So I'm going to take and start with the star right here. And what I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to say edit copy because I want the star to be here when I'm done. I'm going to select my area type tool. I'm going to come over to my star and I'm going to click on that line. And you can see it fills it with text. And what happens is it takes that star and turns it into a bounding box for you. So when I click off, my actual star is gone. Now I'm going to come in here, highlight my text, and I'm going to make it green for right now. And I'm going to say edit, paste in place so that my star comes back. Now right now it's on top of my text, so I can say object arrange, send to back, and now that text is on top of that star. The other option that I have is type on a path. I'm going to grab a circle for this one. Now I want to use my type on a path tool. I'm going to do the same thing where I say edit, copy. And when I grab that type on a path, it's going to turn that line into another bounding box. But instead of my text going inside, my text goes around the outside. If I grab my selection tool, I can take and grab the line that's coming out of it, and I can rotate it around the outside, or I can take and drag it so it's on the inside. Now you can see that it created the bounding box, so my line is gone, so I'd have to do the same thing where I say edit, paste in place, and maybe this time I'll have it be a stroke where the line is going around it. Now you can use both of these tools with the pen tool. So I could take and create my own custom line, grab that type on a path, click, and I'll follow along that line. The last thing that we can do is we could create outlines from our text. What that does is it takes my text from being editable font right now. So right now I could come in here to character, I can change the size, I can change the font, and what I could do is say type, create outlines. So got to have it selected with my black arrow. And what that does is take it from being editable text to actually pen tooled out objects. So you can see my anchor points in here, and I could come in here and now physically edit these points, which is nice. The only problem is that once we turn this into outlines, there is no way of taking and going back to it being an actual font where I can change the font. So this is a permanent thing that you do. And that is basically our text tool.